everyone, SwitchDoubler here. I decided to do a review about Growing Up is Hard to Do. It is actually it's a very interesting episode, I had to admit. I didn't expect to see another Kingdom Crusaders episode so soon. Last one was back in season 8. I mean, these episodes were really surprising and this was really surprising, but really at the same time, it was just wow. Well, okay, let's start with the review itself, but as I said, it was an interesting episode. As we seen that at the beginning where Kurama Crusaders are at their clubhouse, they were all excited to go to Appaloosa County Fair, and they even had made some attentions. Unfortunately, with all their planning they forgot to ask their older siblings to be their companions, as Rarity was already occupied with making new designs for Fancy Pants, and Rainbow was had to help Spitfire for Cloud Clouds, Storm Clouds, and Applejack to take care of the Big Mac, so they could not allow to go. So I can understand from their view their frustrations. All that they want to go to this county fair, all the plan to take part of it, but they forgot to ask their older siblings if they could go along with it. Unfortunately, they had forgot about that, and so they were not travel themselves or make it get lost, as there's been responsibilities for the contributing adults. As they went to castle, just asked Fluttershy and Twilight, but they saw them were busy into researching of an enhanced enchanted flower which was sent by Starstorm the Bearded. The two warned the Crusaders the dangers of traveling about without an adult and the possibility of getting themselves lost in a strange place. And as they both left the library to find some more information about the flower, the both Crusaders unwarned by the situation and expressed their desire to grow up. With their reaction to their wishes, the flower sheds one of the last remaining petals and even somehow almost covers themselves, all the Crusaders, and somehow find themselves magically grown, the full-grown mares. They didn't expect this. They thought they were old enough to travel to Appaloosa by themselves, yes, but at the same time they shouldn't. They shouldn't react. They actually react differently what I would. I mean, if I was in their age and it finds out I have some magically transform into an adult, I would freak out. And I would probably find Fluttershy and Twilight immediately to ask them for help to transform me back. But they did it much opposite. Why would didn't they expect? Why wouldn't they freak out? And why didn't they go after Twilight and Fluttershy for help immediately? Because as we don't know about this particular magic itself, because even if they seems to have been grown mares as aging, what did they know? What else did they know? Because who knows if this magically enhanced enchanted flower growing them faster, we cannot expect that the same effect could be that the seems appear to be show age to an full girl mare, but what would happen if this effect wasn't even, what if this effect didn't stop there? What if this effect would continue to grow, to age them even further within maybe a few hours? It could have been at the same age perhaps as, I don't know, let's say Granny Smith, and within the end of the day, they probably would have been dead. That was would have been too dark as an episode, but just assume if this flower didn't stop there. What if it just continued to make them grow older for each, almost for like maybe a few hours? They may have the same age as their own parents, and perhaps by the end of the day, it could have been at the same age as Granny Smith, and the effect of that could only be stopped or reversed if they continue, maybe with the end of the day. But if this had been past more than 24 hours, perhaps the effect would have been permanently. That would have been a big disaster. So I don't understand why the Crusaders not even thought about look up Twilight and Fluttershy immediately. Their effect were definitely. They thought they were old enough, so they tried to race to catch the Friendship Express before they leave the train station. While there, they expressed it through a song, being big is all it takes. They no longer had to hold back the limitations to be young. Unfortunately, after boarding a wrong train, they end up in Hayseed Junction instead of Appaloosa. Following encounter with this talking pony, Ticket, the word Ticket's pony, the Crusaders tried to decide traversing a dense swamp and reach Appaloosa on foot. Believing being all grown-ups they all know what to do, unfortunately soon they became lost, as their Twilight and her friends had been previously warned about. They unfortunately had luck enough to pair to young siblings by the name Biscuit and Spur, which argue whether not to take their pet Bluefy to the Appaloosa County Fair. Once again, the Crusaders believed to be adults put in the position to give Biscuit and Spur grown-up advice and to suggest that Biscuit should share and bring him to Appaloosa. Much to Spur's displeasures, falling behind, the Crusaders finally arrived to the county fair with one of the Appaloosan fans to notice that Bluefy suggests that Biscuit enter him as in the animals showcase. She tried to convince by her voice that disagreement of this idea, which turns out the Crusaders was as they for another advice, but ran off of their own to enjoy the fair, which much of their expectation. They even all of their efforts to wanted to showing that they can handle all things by themselves, being adults, but being adult doesn't just false make sense as believe that they can do all they want to do. To be an adult, there are even some limitations what we can do or cannot do. Even if the children believe that we adults has all that we can do anything we want to do. As an adult, we can go to movies for seeing scary movies, which has an age limit to, or we can drink when we want, and how much we can eat, and we can stay up all night. Sure, it might be this and seems to be fun, but we all have to realize, as an adult, we also have responsibilities, even if we have no children of our own, but adults has even their own limitations. But the Crusaders did not realize that until the end. And they have no idea that Fluttershy and Twilight soon will arrive at Appaloosa by train in search for the missing Crusaders, and that they later informed that they were what's going on, and even at showcase for the animals, Fluttershy identified this rampaging Bluefy as a rare creature called Whirling Monktooth, and explains it will only calm down in the presence of its caretaker. Realizing that Spur is Bluefy's true caretakers, the Crusaders try to find her while Fluttershy and Twilight try to help everyone to evacuate the entire stadium with safety. Once they bring back Spur to the stadium, they try to Fluttershy's help to calm down the Blues, which still wins the animal case as the most interesting creature. But back at the train station, the Crusaders realize even though they are physically adult, they still lack the wisdom, experience, and maturity that comes to be as a grown-up naturally. As they're using the last remaining petal of the flower that Starswell had sent to Fluttershy, no, sorry, Twilight, the Crusaders switch themselves back to Village. Even the siblings later, Biscuit and Spur, surprised to discover that the Crusaders are actually much younger than themselves. They even apologized for lying to Biscuit and Spur about their real age and being selfish, but he asked if they could visit them someday, which they both agreed, a condition as they fall after Will grown up accompany with them next time. So my thoughts about this episode itself was really surprised. I mean, how much are there about it must mostly be about the Crusaders' reaction after they turned out in adult age. I mean, if they were find out that they were, I was very surprised that they didn't react horrified or at least scared that they were turning to. Well, they must be scared, but at the same time was filled with overjoyed with excitement that they had turned into adults, rather than being scared to run after Twilight and his Fluttershy and say what happened. If they did, they had probably not learned how to even be an adult doesn't make you believe that you can do anything you want. And even if they did realize that to the end, that they both lack the wisdom, maturity, and the most of all, the lack of all the most, that even to be physically adult, but they most of all lack of the wisdom, maturity, and experience. To be experienced as an adult is something that everyone wants to do, but you always have to wait to grow up with its own natural way. To kind of make a shortcut to make, like, even if you're like only 12 and you want to be adult maybe in your 20s and make a shortcut, it doesn't make sense. Why would you want to short half of that age for half of the years you still have left to be in your 20s when you're still 12 or perhaps you're still 10? It doesn't even make sense. Why would you age 10 years even you want to be an adult so you can do anything you want to do, but realize that you were losing 10 years of your own childhood to grow up, to experience the world, to maturity by rate at normal rate. I believe that the Crusaders realized that even by this mistake, having going to the county fair, realizing not telling the Fluttershy Twilight but that was happened, and it's no. If I was there in their case, I would not go anywhere else except to find Twilight and Fluttershy to help them, make them help you go back to your original self. I mean, sure, you wanted to experience, maybe you told them of what was happened, maybe go out in a Ponyville to just experience. Well, even if that the Crusaders did go to find Fluttershy and Twilight and told them what happened, I mean, there is not much possible. There is much as I believe that Twilight would have said it would take some time for them to find out what just happened. Maybe they had to remove some more research and telling the Crusaders not to go anywhere as far as beyond the town, because they don't know how long this reaction will last. Perhaps it's permanent, or maybe the world can be reversed back to before the beyond the day. So perhaps if they had told Fluttershy and Twilight about this, perhaps then they could just go into town and just wait to that they have found a way to reverse all of this. But that would have been much as a big surprise to Ponyville's residents, and especially for Applejack and Rarity if they find out that their sisters have been turned into full-grown mares by some random accident. But if they explains that they just wish to have been full-grown, but this flower, which they have no idea what was going to do, what it would do, they had this reaction. But if they told that Twilight and Fluttershy are working to find a way to get them back to the normal side, to normal self again, which could have calmed Rarity and Applejack down, and perhaps they would have went back to the castle to maybe help them to find a way to reverse this effect. But what Crusaders did was really immaturity, like believing they were old enough now to go to this fair, county fair, to do anything they wanted to do. Even if they said that they couldn't get lost, being lack of experience, wisdom, and maturity are something that they should have been waited for. And all of them actually realized that to the end. And I just say, it really something really did surprise me, all of this. I mean, even if the Crusaders planned all this from the beginning, they want to go to the county fair without forgot to ask the sisters if they can accompany them. Well, except for Rainbow Dash, who wasn't sister to Squirreloo, but yeah. But all this, they forgot to ask them about accompanying to the fair. And even if that happened, if they forgot, they couldn't just go to someone else, like Pinkie. About that, why would they used to go, if that Twilight and Fluttershy said they were busy, why would they just couldn't go to Pinkie or all? They couldn't ask Starlight and Pinkie. Why would they thought about being go to, if Fluttershy and Twilight said that they were busy to make some research, and they can just left the castle and go and ask Pinkie or Starlight for all? I mean, I don't think that Pinkie and Starlight would not have been that busy that day. I don't know, but still, the most of all of this, I really was surprised about this episode itself. But at the end, as the Crusaders realized they had to wait and age normally to do something they wanted to. But overall, I thought this episode was really interesting. I mean, and now the Crusaders episode, even though it's the last one before, yeah, well, that's it before the show ends. But I was still very impressed of how much the Crusaders took all of this, much opposite what I thought they were going to do. Well, everyone, that is all of my review about this particular episode. And if you have your thoughts, your opinions, let me know in the comment section below. And as always, subscribe, leave a comment, and as always, this is SwitchDW, over and out.